Welcome to March. Happy birthday to you guys. I'm starting off with your guys' reading because we just finished the solar eclipse in Pisces, which was insane. I don't know about you guys, but between the full moon and the lunar eclipse in Leo and the new moon and the solar eclipse in Pisces, my emotions have just been, it's like a roller coaster ride. So when you think about Leo, especially with the full moon and the lunar eclipse, the lunar eclipse is like a turbocharged full moon. So you have this huge amount of release. You know what I mean? All the emotions are being released, and Leo is so dramatic, so grand, so kind of attention seeking. So it was like we were releasing in this very grand way. So just drama everywhere, which it's very easy with the Leo to kind of take it as entertainment, you know? So if there was a lot of drama that came into your life around the full moon, which was around the beginning of the month, the beginning of the month last in February, is just to realize that just flow with it. You know, people were acting crazy with this full moon. The good thing about it is that the new moon, which just passed about 3 days ago on the 28th, which was also the solar eclipse in your sign, Pisces, was amazing because you had that huge emotional dramatic release of the full moon, and then with Pisces you were able to bring in whatever you wanted on a spiritual level, on a compassionate level. I don't know about you, but as soon as the new moon hit, I just had this sudden urge. I needed to give back. I applied to be, you know, to volunteer at a senior's home, things like that, where it's just, Pisces is so compassionate. They're the givers of the zodiac. So it was really beautiful to work with that eclipse, although emotions were very high, very hot and heavy, especially at the beginning of the month. But you know what? It's all better now. So now I'm just infusing my readings with pure positivity. Another thing I'm not sure if you guys have read about is that eclipse was a vortex. It actually opened up the spiritual realm, so to say. So more people are becoming more awakened, more aware, realizing that their manifestations are happening so quickly. Like, my manifestations are happening within a thought. I'll think of something and the next day it'll show up. It's absolutely incredibly potent and amazing. So just really keep your emotions and your thoughts positive, because like I've been saying, what you're putting out there, the emotions, the thoughts, the words you're putting out there, it's coming back tenfold, and it is coming back stronger and faster than ever. So just try and be cognizant. If you have a negative thought, or you're thinking something that isn't really based in truth, it's more based in other people's experiences and realities, and it's not necessarily something that you've encountered yourself, cancel it out. You can literally just say cancel in your head, cancel out that thought, and bring in a positive thought, even if it feels really robotic and feeling contrived, like you had to do it. Run with it, because eventually it's going to be second nature. For instance, right now I'm telling everyone I get paid very well to work from home, and people are looking at me like, you don't even have a job. Like, you don't get paid well. And I need to keep telling myself and others that. And then eventually when I get paid very well to work from home, I won't have to say it anymore, right? It'll just be a known thing. And other people will realize Vanessa gets paid well to work from home. So they're putting that energy out there as well. So use that as an example. That's just one of my examples. It's something that I've been manifesting for a long time, just being able to be comfortable working from home. And I can definitely start to see that coming in with this eclipse. So I'm excited to hear what you guys, how your guys' full moon and new moon was. And before I ramble on too much, I'm going to get started here. So this is a reading for you guys for Pisces for March 2017, and it's looking great. March is it's one of those, comes in like a lion, leaves like a lamb, but this has already been an excellent energy I'm feeling. So right now, your shadow card is really a focus on the home and family, marriage, celebration, gathering, party. You know what, guys? It's your birthday this month. Have a party. Invite the people that are going to lift you up, that you care about, that actually make you happy. Forget the obligations and just realize that this is your month, this is your birthday, this is your year to do what you want to do, what makes you happy. And if it's not going to hurt other people, because you're being honest. You're saying, listen, like, I want to do my birthday thing with these people, and I'll do something with you, blah, 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 on this day. You know, you can mix and match, but I'm really urging you guys to take this year. This is your year to really decide what you want to do, who you want to be, and just go for it, okay? Remember the balance there. You can you can say no and still have that balance with other people. So Temperance is definitely that shadow card, and also change is coming in, of course, as usual. Like I said, manifesting so quickly. So even if the change is just a change of thought, change your frame of mind, that is profound, and that's going to make everlasting changes in the future, okay? So your first card, the current situation for March 2017 for Pisces, is sleepless nights. You know, something is coming to an end. The cycle is definitely coming to an end. And like I said, I really can resonate with this card because, yeah, I had a bad one where it was kind of not wanting to get out of bed this last month. February was a pretty low vibe month for me, and it must be for a lot of people, because even just the energy that I'm feeling when I'm going out, when I'm around people are just kind of low vibe more so. And even with the reading yesterday, it was kind of that pain in the back type feelings. But this is just a situation at hand, and if you are having those sleepless moments, they don't have to be negative. A lot of the times, those sleepless nights are a call for inspiration. That's the universe saying, you know, the world doesn't expect anything of you right now. It's completely quiet. Get up and do something inspired. Write something, draw something, create something. Pisces are the artists of the zodiac. You know, you guys are so artistic. Art gives you life. So get inspired. If you can't sleep, your brain isn't active enough during the day. You're not stimulating your brain enough. So get out there, get yourself some culture, get yourself some new things, new thoughts to think about, so that when you go to sleep, you're able to just shut down. You're so mentally exhausted that you just let it all go and you shut down, okay? So don't worry too much about this current situation right now if you're having trouble sleeping, okay? An obstacle and an aid, so something, can you see this? So this is abundance, okay, and new beginnings. So this is what's keeping you guys up at night. You guys are worrying too much about finances, worrying too much about abundance, prosperity. When's it going to end? Where is my finish line? You know, a lot of debt catch up. That's totally what I'm feeling here. A lot of debt that's been built up in the past that's really not helping you sleep at night because you're just worrying about it, worrying about money. I'm telling you, the more you focus on something, the more it expands. So instead of focusing on the debt, just try to focus on abundance, because I can guarantee you, if you're sitting in front of a computer watching a YouTube video, you have so much to be grateful for. You know, there are so many people out there and that was my problem last month, is just having this guilt where I'm like, how can I be so upset when I have so much to be grateful for? When, you know, watch one documentary, watch, you know, the Malala documentary, where you realize people in other countries aren't even given the basic necessity of clean drinking water. That's something that we take for granted every day. I can run my tap and I can quench my thirst without having to struggle for days on end just to get clean drinking water. So I know that the society that we live in really focuses, and a lot of the time it's the ego, it focuses on lack, what we don't have. We get something and then we want more. We get this, well, what's next? Try to take it back a bit, Pisces. You know, relish in the fact that you've come such a long way, that you're so compassionate, that you've given to others, that it's now time to get back. You know, put out the positive energy, and that's exactly what you'll get back. So, like I said, this is an obstacle and an aid. So, focusing on abundance and opening your mind up to all channels of goodness to come into your life, that's going to help you with your sleepless nights, okay? That's going to help you with that stress of, what am I doing? Where is this money coming from? I promise you, if you just focus on what you already have and be grateful for what you already have, give effortlessly, generously, and without any qualms about it. Give with the intention that, you know, I have more than enough, and I promise you, you will be 100% fine in even just a month's time, okay? So just positive thoughts. You know, even when I think about my student debt and I'm like, debt. When I started to think, maybe I need to realize that, you know, instead of focusing on the debt, just focusing on abundance, now you have these new things coming in where it's like, oh, free tuition, debt repayment, assistance loans, all this stuff that is coming into my awareness where it's like, well, if I stop focusing on how I'm going to pay the debt and just focused on, you know, having abundance, that debt comes secondary. So like I said, what you focus on expands. So instead of focusing on debt, focus on abundance, and then your abundance will expand. Okay, so subconsciously, feeling like there's so many options, so many responsibilities coming at you. It's really taking away your power, but it's also giving you a lot of power as well. It's giving you a lot of life. Sometimes having all this growth momentum, all these options coming at you makes you feel special, makes you feel needed 100%, but it can also really be tough to deal with. So just recognize that you are a lot of people's stabilizing, calm waters. Like a lot of Pisces can have that. When you're around them, you just feel calm and serene. So why don't you give that gift to yourself? Give yourself that sense of peace that you give to others so freely by just being in the present moment. It's as simple as that. You know, just being grounded, being there, being present, being 100% there, not constantly thinking about whatever's going on here, but just being where you're at. When you're at work, do your work with intention. You know, even if it's something that you don't have passion in, you can be passionate about that moment, that what you're doing right now is important and will butterfly effect into a bigger outcome in the future. So focus on that. You know, a lot of the times we find that with options and with so many directions, we can feel really flustered and unfocused, but realize that sometimes those options and all those momentums are actually what's keeping us focused and what's keeping us on that righteous path, you know? So thought process, thinking very well, thinking of abundance, but thinking that that abundance has ended. Thinking that, you know, I've been supported in the past, but it's kind of been a veil over your head where it's like, how did that even come? You know, it was never an obvious, oh, I'm a millionaire. It's, I'm about to have my hydro cut off, but oh my God, I just got this amazing check for the exact amount that I need for that bills. And that's a lot of times what happens with a lot of people, especially me, where you realize like, how am I gonna afford this? What am I gonna do? And then something will come. So maybe thinking that because you've been so seated, because you haven't been more aggressive when it comes to getting that abundance, you're thinking that that's all done and gone with, that it's not just gonna be revealed to you easily. That's not the case. Keep in mind that you are 100% supported. The support isn't going to run out. There is more than enough for everyone. So just keep that positive focus, and that's exactly what you'll get. So something that would have just passed, something was revealed to you in a relationship, in a partnership, in something that's one-on-one, that really kind of went against honor. It really went against your better judgment, and it really changed something really fundamentally and foundationally in you. You know, it really kind of made you realize the two-facedness of another person. They revealed something to you that wasn't necessarily pure, that wasn't on the path to enlightenment, on your path, on your spiritual awakening path. But keep in mind that that change actually did give you freedom, because everything happens for a reason. And if that person showed their true self to you, believe it. You know, you don't need to second guess it. A lot of the times people will finally show their true faces, their true colors, and it's on you to believe them, because you know, they'll show it again, but you'd rather know from the get-go that this person isn't 100% faithful or loyal or honorable or whatever, and recognize that and do what you need to do to move on or to fix that problem, because they gave you a key to a sense of freedom that's in yourself and a sense of change that is really needed in your life right now. Future card. Your ships are coming in a very positive way. Your ships are absolutely coming in as long as you maintain that positive focus that you are abundant, that you are supported, and that you are protected, okay? Pisces, you guys have an amazing connection to the unseen world. You guys really rule the 12th house, in astrology, which is all about the unseen world and your unconscious mind. So recognize that because you have that link to what other people don't necessarily see, it's a huge advantage, and it's a lot easier to manifest from that unconscious area, from that unseen place, you know, because with manifestation, you don't see the results before they come to be, right? You have to trust and have faith that it's coming, even though it might not be there yet, okay? So keep that in mind. Your ships are coming this month. They're coming in there, and it's very positive. It's very optimistic. It's that finish line mentality, exactly what I said, where it's that light at the end of the tunnel where you feel like you can finally push forward and keep progressing towards your end goals, okay? So definitely keep an eye on the prize and keep a positive mental focus on what you want. You right now are really looking for a lot of support, you know, looking for how other people can help you out. support comes from within. You know, if you continue to rely on other people for this abundance, for this forward motion, for a purpose, for humbling, a lot of people go to other people for their sense of approval, for their sense of worth. You're never going to get it. And if you do get it and you allow other people to give it to you, they can take it away just as easily. So that support needs to come from within. Love yourself first, and then other people will be able to know how to love you right, because you're showing them the way by loving yourself first. If that is a hard thing for you to do, which I'm sure whatever it may be, crystals really can help with this. Crystals and essential oils. There's tons of essential oils for empowerment that I can absolutely let you guys know about. But for the one crystal I'm really feeling when it comes to Pisces this month is a rose quartz, which is all about self-love, self-acceptance. You won't accept anything less than the highest good for yourself if you love yourself 100%. So rose quartz is an excellent stone that gives you that nurturing sense back, that allows you to nurture yourself first and put that nurturement outwards, okay? So friends and family looking really good. No, see, this is your interpretation as well though. Like, this is your reading. So you're seeing that your friends and family are doing great. So that's why you want their support. That's why it's like, well, you're doing so well, help me out. But you know what? Your friends and family, they worked hard to get to where they are, and it's really not fair for you to come in and take what they worked hard for. They are going to be 100% more happy if they don't have to worry about you. If they're like, okay, you're fine. I can now get back to being happy when I'm not worried about if you're happy or not, okay? So do your family and friends a favor by stop relying on them for this support and rely on yourself. Get that support from your inner self, and then your family will jump to support you. You know, people don't want to latch onto a sinking ship. It wasn't until my husband and I actually started going back to school and, you know, helping ourselves that the universe opened itself up, and parents, family, friends started to support. They're like, you're doing well. Here, let me invest in how well you're doing, because when you get higher, it's just going to help me in the long run. Nobody wants to help someone who's not helping themselves, who's sinking lower and lower, because why would anybody latch onto that? You know, so keep that in mind. Do well, and you'll actually get more support from your family and friends. It might seem counterproductive, but as soon as you don't need someone, that's when they start to give more freely, because they're like, wait, you don't need me? Wait, here. And I'm not just talking about financial, monetary, materialistic giving. I'm talking about love, support, energy, time, effort, enthusiasm, encouragement. You know, now more and more people are starting to encourage me and support me, but for the longest time, I had to get that encouragement and support for myself, because everybody was criticizing the direction that I was taking. And I just learned last night that this was pretty profound, that a lot of the times if you're doing well, people will criticize and put you down because it threatens the fact that they haven't made any changes within themselves, that they can't support themselves. So if that's the case, there's no need to send that person any negativity. Send them love and compassion, which you guys are so good at, because they're obviously struggling and they obviously need help in order to get to a higher place, okay? So fears and hopes is, once again, that, you know, you like the options, you love having the options, but it's, you have that fear that when you don't have that options, when there's that completeness, what's next, right? But you kind of hope for it. You kind of hope that you had less options, because those options are all up in your subconscious mind, making you not be able to sleep at night. But keep in mind that you hope that those options would end, but you also fear, what does it mean if you had no more momentum, if you had no more work, if you had no more all these things pointing in your direction, calling out your name? It's still attention. Like, it's still, the full moon in Leo is, we're still feeling it. That's still a form of attention. Even if it is that bill, that whatever, if it's negative attention, it's still attention. So realize that you hope for the end of your responsibilities, but you also fear for it in a way. So it might be time to release that fear with the full moon coming up in about 2 weeks. Release the fear of not being needed, of not being wanted, of people not taking from you. Release that fear, okay? And just hope for the best and stay positive. So the final card, the outcome card for March for Pisces, It's an older gentleman here, an older Pisces, I'm sure, because it's King of Cups. This Pisces could absolutely be the one that has bled out, you know, in the past. He's done the blood, sweat, tears in order to show you the steps to make. This older Pisces person who is either male or has like a feminine that has, or female that has more male tendencies, like maybe like a Pisces single mom, you know, that took on the male role and the female role, something like that. Someone who has been now encouraging you a lot because they bled out in the past. They had such a rocky past. They're finally seated and in that place of authority that they're going to remind you of the abundance that you have in your life. They're going to remind you of that. And they're also going to allow you with that, with those ships to come in, with your positivity, with good energy coming in. So like I said, party, have fun, but recognize that there's always balance when it comes to partying and having fun. If you're still having those sleepless nights and, you know, if the March energy coming in and your birthday coming in didn't energize you in a positive way, it's time to really start focusing on those thoughts and realizing where you're at. You know, last week I just grabbed a keyboard, just started typing. I didn't care about spelling, didn't care about punctuation, just type for 5 pages, just type, just let it all out, and then I deleted it. And that was all I needed to kind of realize that, you know, if I'm going to have these negative thoughts, at least they're on this page, and now when I delete it, they're gone. So it's really some legwork, of course. Like sometimes it can feel a little like drudgery, like it's easier to just be negative, but it's not. It's 100% easier to be positive with your thoughts every day. Positivity spreads like a weed. So once you start that first positive thoughts, it'll just tumble into more and more. I have faith in you guys. I think you guys are going to have an amazing year. I think you're going to have an amazing birthday and an amazing March, because Pisces is one of my favorite signs and you guys totally deserve it. You guys totally deserve an amazing year, an amazing month. So open your arms to it, and that's exactly what will come in. I love talking with you guys. I hope you have an amazing birthday month, and I will see you guys in April, okay? Bye, guys. Love you.